Alright, what's up guys, it's Hyper here with another video, and today I will be bringing you the top 5 water natural 4 stars in Summoner's War. Let's go! So before I start this video, I want to say that this is my opinion, and that everyone's going to have different opinions on this because this is kind of controversial. So if you do have different opinions than me, leave your opinion down in the comment. I'll be glad to hear your opinion. Alright, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go from honorable mention, and then I'll go to the 5th best monster, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then finally 1st. So yeah, let's get started. The first honorable mention is going to go to Emma, the Water Neostone Agent. Now I think Emma is a super underrated monster. I did make a top 5 underrated Nat 4s a while back, and she was in the list actually. So I just want to say that I do think she's a really underrated monster. I think she's really good, and people do appreciate her, but not quite as much as I believe she should be appreciated. Basically, she brings a glance, a strip, and that also boosts the attack bar, by the way, and then a heal based on her max HP, as well as a defense buff, and if it heals past 100%, it gives them a shield that lasts for 2 turns and is equivalent of half of the excessive heal. So basically, Emma is just a great healer. She's great matched with defense based damage units like copper and stuff. She can be very good with. So that is why Emma is coming in as my first honorable mention. The second honorable mention is going to go to Melaka, the Water Kobold Bomber. The reason Melaka is coming in this list is because he is one of the best bombers that isn't too hard to obtain. Sierra is of course a Nat 5, so it's hard to obtain her. And then Libali, the Dark Joker, is also hard to get because it's a light dark Nat 4. So Melaka is pretty obtainable, and he's a pretty solid bomber. His first skill basically attacks, and the damage increases for every harmful effect on the enemy. His second skill installs a bomb that goes after 2 turns on all the enemies and increases the attack gauge by 50%. And his third skill basically just attacks all the enemies and decreases their attack power and defense for 2 turns with an 80% chance on each target. So that's really good. He's a great TOA monster. That is where you'll probably find the most use for him, or in a bomb team, in arena, or guild battles. So that's why Melaka is coming in as the second honorable mention. So now getting into the top 5. Number 5 is going to go to Julie, the Water Purrier. Julie is a great nuker and a great AoE nuker. Her third skill can hit really hard. So basically her first skill is basically a 50% chance to strip and attacks 2 times. Her second skill freezes the enemy with 80% chance. And her third skill throws numerous cards to attack all enemies, attacks 6 times when the attack is used with full HP. So if she has full HP, it'll throw 6 cards to each enemy, which is really good. Julie's damage potential is really good. If you have a defense break and attack buff and she has max HP, you can put in a lot of damage on AoE to the enemies and stuff like arena and guild battles. She is also a great farmer, especially for Feymen. So if you do build one, you can always use her as a Feymen farmer. Also, she can be very useful in Dragons B10 because her first skill strips, and she's pretty nuky. So you can use her as a nuker in a Dragons B10 team because she can also be the stripper to strip the immunity, and she can hit hard in the first stages and even on the boss stage. So that's why Julie's coming in at number 5. Number 4 is going to go to Xiao Lin, the Water Kung Fu Girl. Xiao Lin is one of the best monsters in raids in Summoner's War. Her first skill is basically just a defense break, and her second skill will proc with a 30% chance. Her second skill will decrease the enemy's attack bar, and it will put a speed debuff, and if it does decrease the enemy's attack bar fully, the target will be stunned. Her third skill strikes 4 random targets, and increases the inflicted damage by 15% for each harmful effect. If the skill is on cooldown, you have a 25% chance to be counterattacked. So basically to summarize that, it attacks 4 random times on any enemy. The damage will go up 15% for each harmful effect, and if you're waiting for a skill to come back, you have a 25% chance to revenge proc on the enemy. And that's really good because if it revenge procs, and then there's a 30% chance that revenge proc will turn into a twist kick, so you can even stun and speed debuff the enemy on a revenge proc. The main place you'll end up using Xiao Lin is raids, R5. She is one of the best monsters in the game, so she comes in at this list just because she is so good in raids. She can be used in other places, but raids is where you'll mainly find use for her. So that's why Xiao Lin is coming in 4th place. Alright, so coming in at 3rd place is going to be Stella, the Water Assassin. Her first skill is a defense break. Her second attacks 2 times, and each attack has a 75% chance to brand the enemy. And basically, if you don't know what branding does, enemies with the branding effect will receive 25% increased damage. Her third skill attacks an enemy and decreases its attack bar by 10% for each attack. The number of strikes will increase up to 7 hits accordingly to your attack speed. So if you have a really fast Stella, it'll attack 7 times here, bringing the attack bar down by 70%. Stella is one of the best monsters in speed teams, especially giants and dragons even too. But anyways, just because she is such a good monster in speed teams is why she's basically on this list. You can find use for her in guild battles maybe and arena and PvP like RTA and stuff, but I think she's mainly used in speed teams. So just because she's so good in speed teams, that is why she's coming in at 3rd place in this list. So coming in at 2nd place is Orion, the Water Brownie Magician. Orion is a great monster in PvP. His first skill just attacks and has a 30% chance to get another turn. His second skill attacks all enemies, putting a defense break for 1 turn, and it lands as a crushing hit regardless of enemy's attribute, basically meaning it'll land the defense break unless it gets resisted. Harmless Prank is a really good skill. It randomly selects an enemy 4 times to grant one of the following effects: a strip, a stun, a defense break, and a HP block. Additionally, the attack bar of all allies will be increased by 30%. So in the speed meta that's kind of going on right now, Orion is a great monster in guild battles and arena. Harmless Prank is such a good skill because it boosts your attack bar by 30, so you can ensure that you get the first turn, and it strips, stuns, defense breaks, and puts a HP block on. So Harmless Prank is just one of the best skills really in the game. Orion is great in guild battle defense, matched with like Theomars and Jasun and stuff like that. He's also great in arena defense, and he acts kind of like a Bernard, except in a way he's better. The only downside is his base speed isn't quite as high, but you can still build him really fast. So that is why Orion is coming in at 2nd place in this list. Now number 1, the best water natural 4-star in Summoner's War is gonna go to Galleon, the Water Pirate Captain. People that don't have Galleon really wish they do have Galleon, because Galleon is such a unique monster and such a good monster. His first skill is a defense break for 1 turn. His second skill attacks an enemy and absorbs 30% of its attack bar. Now, Galleon's third skill is what makes him so unique and good. It attacks all the enemies, decreasing the defense, and it puts an attack buff on for 2 turns. Now the defense break is a harmless attack, so it can't be glanced, making it such a good skill. The only way it won't land is if it actually gets resisted by resistance. So it puts AoE defense break for 2 turns and attack buff. So if you think about that, that is so good because it defense breaks the enemies and puts an attack buff, so your nukers can AoE just like knock someone out because they have a defense break and you have an attack buff and it's AoE. So time to loot is just such a good skill that makes Galleon the best water natural 4-star in this game. On top of everything, he also has this leader skill, attack speed by 24% in guild battles, which can be really useful. Galleon is just such a good monster paired up with the AoE nuker. It is so crazy. Galleon is a great monster in speed teams, Dragons B10, Giants B10. Galleon's also a great monster in PvP because of his third skill. So that is why Galleon comes in at number 1 in the top 5 Water Nat 4s in Summoner's War. So that is going to wrap up this video, guys. Again, if you have different opinions on this list, leave them down in the comments. We're glad to hear them. If you have any comments, questions, and concerns, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.